Welcome to the Gransberry Chronicles weekly pick'em. It's week 4, and I'm your girl, the Gransberry, also known as the Stadium Queen. And I got my boy D Jones to the left, and we got big sexy coach at the bottom. And for those of you that don't know why I'm calling him big sexy coach, that's because we have a weekly pick'em online fantasy contest, and
Did it to
somebody
yourself.
entered their name as Big Sexy Coach, and I thought everybody should know about Big Sexy,
Did it to
and he
yourself.
wondered why he stayed in entanglements.
Stay
We
in.
missed you last week, Big Sexy. Oh, you ain't got no words for me? What's up? Did I catch you off guard? You're not acting shy, are you, Big Sexy?
No, I forgot about that. I completely forgot to put that.
No, sir. No, sir. Under
You
no
forget.
way in the English vocabulary did a man forget he named himself Big Sexy. Okay?
Yeah.
No, I completely.
No. Not
Yeah.
that a woman called you that, but that you named yourself that.
No, okay.
Yeah.
So
You had a choice.
there's a story about this. There's a story. The only reason why I put that is because
Wait. I need you to give me this story. Go ahead.
I couldn't think of anything to like put on there. So I wanted to be funny. So I just put the B. And then there's like one of my passwords is that.
Did you
Don't
just
tell people
announce
your
your
password.
No. There's some other stuff after that. There's a long story behind that. So.
Wait, did you just announce a password, sir?
I'll change that already.
Okay.
Don't worry
This
about it.
entanglement is getting deeper around here.
I'll have it.
Man, it's too much.
I keep telling y'all that.
After calling yourself Big Sexy, we're gonna circle back around week 15 and say what? Shout out to Jock. He say, wait, what? That's right. Big Sexy. Coach B Pat. Coach Big Sexy Pat.
No, I didn't. Whatever.
So before we get started tonight, we gotta always give a shout out to our weekly winner. And the winner of week 3 was Studewood, Texas. Shout out to you. D Jones is wearing what you have won. That's right, you won a vote shirt. Look, you just make sure you inbox me. Reach out to me on any social media platform for the Gransberry and let me know where you would like to send me to send a shirt and what size. But once again, we always have to acknowledge who out of us 3 is in first place. And my boy D Jones passed me up this week. We tied, but of course the tiebreaker again. My boy D Jones got the tiebreaker. Sad thing that doesn't matter. All my picks that I changed on Sunday changed to L's. And for those of you that don't understand what that means, if you change your mind, it didn't happen. So it didn't happen.
Nope.
And
It's locked in at noon.
Of course, you may be in first place with the most unique name, Big Sexy, but you are in last place on the show.
Whatever.
Yeah. And if you want to get out the toilet, you might need to stop taking some big dumps on your picks and get it together. But once again, like I said, shout out to Studewood, Texas. You won week 3. We still Carlton Bear is holding strong at second, so he didn't move too much. And then my boy D Jones and we were tied at third, and he's got the tiebreaker at third, and I'm at fourth. I can't even tell you where Coach Pat at. It's like 21 people playing. I think he's somewhere in the middle, floating around. But we'll see if he move up. I mean, if y'all like his name, Big Sexy, I need y'all to reach out and tweet my boy, Coach B Pat, and let him know how y'all feeling about that name out there, okay? Let him know.
Why'd you have to broadcast that, man?
Why you put it out there?
The name? Wait, you picked the name in a public forum, not in a setting where it's just me and D Jones. You picked that on a public platform. That group is open, and you have people in there playing that see your name in the rankings. And here you are asking me, why did I tell the public?
And
I didn't
Own
see
that
a
thing,
clause
bro.
next to it that said keep that to yourself.
Own it.
You're right.
Own it. If that's your name, that's what you go by. Own it.
If that's what you go by, that's what you go by. Somebody done told you was being sexy. Okay, big sexy.
Gransberry.
That's my name. That's right. That's what I choose to go by. That's my name. Look, before we get started, we got a quick shout out. That's right. My boy, Coach Pat, has on his nice PVAMU shirt. Tomorrow, we get started with conference play and volleyball. And shout out to my niece, Mazani McKellar, who is a member of the volleyball
What's
team.
happening,
And I will
Zonnie?
be seeing her live and in action tomorrow. And I just want to give her a special early good luck and good luck to, of course, my alumni as well, one and the same. And then y'all see I'm wearing the Trill OG hat and supporting my Stros as always. We getting ready for this playoff run. We're gonna see how it go. And let's get started. So, as y'all always know, we got a few games that's just, things we going to pass over and get out the way so we can have a little bit more fun with our picks for tonight. So, D. Jones, it's your show.
All right. So this week's get them out the way picks. Most of them we all agree on. So the first one we agreed Minnesota to take out New Orleans. We all right with Cleveland's running game to take out Atlanta. Detroit over Seattle, Tennessee to take out the Colts, the Giants over Chicago, Arizona over Carolina, Green Bay over New England, and Coach is riding solo, picking the Jets over Pittsburgh. That's to get them out of the way this week.
That hurt my heart. But I had to.
You riding solo, taking chances.
Just briefly on your solo. So what led you to that pick? Is it the return of Wilson or
Mitchell Trubisky?
Oh, okay. All right.
Till they change quarterbacks?
Yeah. He hasn't been playing that bad.
He hasn't been playing bad though.
We got to put them on the list next week, I guess.
We do. We'll circle back to that. Let's start off with our Thursday night lineup, which is obviously Miami versus Cincy, and Miami's on the road after still being one of the undefeated teams remaining with the awesome finish in Miami this past weekend. I don't know what's going on with Cincy. I've said it last week. I guess I'll say it again. They're in somewhat of a hangover / slump mix up. And they're not coming out as strong in the AFC as I expected. So I'm still iffy on this pick. I'm leaning with Miami because they're more of a together team right now. But the issue I'm having is Cincy's at home, and as Big Sexy mentioned earlier today, Cincy, this is a must win. So, Big Sexy, what's your pick?
I'm going with Cincinnati. I think I said it. This is a must-win game for Cincinnati. Think about it. You got the AFC North. You got to deal with Baltimore. You got to deal with Cleveland, and you got to deal with what's the other one? The other team, I can't think of it right now. But those three.
Pittsburgh.
But Pittsburgh, yeah, that's the other one. And I think that Cincinnati has to win this game in order to get their confidence back, their mojo back. They're at home. Miami's kind of iffy right now on whether or not Tua's back is hurt, ankle, concussion. We don't know which one it is. I mean, the hit he took and the way he got up, we all thought that was a concussion. And then we were shocked when D. Jones texted and said he back in the game. We were like, what? So, I mean, and then I know Miami's got the vertical threats with Hill, vertical and horizontal threats with Hill, Waddle, and they got the big tight end in the middle. But I just think Cincinnati has to come out here and win the game. Burrow cannot throw 4 or 5 interceptions, and he's got to go out there, and I think he's up for the challenge. They have to win this game tomorrow night just for the simple fact to get their mojo back, or else they'll just be like, oh, we got to make another run. But Baltimore is better than they were last year. Cleveland's going to get better when they get their quarterback back. And in Pittsburgh, they never have a losing season. So you got to go ahead and do that. Cincinnati's going to get the win.
D.
Well, I think this is one of those I'm tossing up. I'm leaning towards Cincinnati right now, but my pick may change before the game tomorrow.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they said too a clear concussion protocol on Monday, so I don't think that's going to keep him out.
But they said he was never in it. He wasn't in it.
Yeah,
He's never in it.
They say he cleared. It wasn't. He cleared the test. That's why he was back in the game. They said his little stumble was because of his back, which I guess we can believe or not believe. But either way, he still had to go through and clear concussion protocol to make sure that he didn't have a concussion. But I like Miami, but Cincinnati. I think I'm rolling with Cincinnati just because they're home. I'm giving them the edge just because they're home. And like you said, they need this game. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be one of your field goal games. I think, Coach. I think it can be close like that. But if Miami gets on a run, Tyreek Hill already calling out Eli Apple, telling him he owe him. So he's going to be looking to have a big game. That speed over there is scary. So my official pick on the site may change, but right now I think I'm going with Cincinnati. Did you pick Gransberry?
I didn't. And so, Big Sexy had started this conversation earlier in the week about how he felt like Cincy needed the win. And I do agree with that. I still don't think they get it together this week. I understand Tyreek, as people say, could have put his foot in his mouth or whatever. Tyreek's job is to catch balls and run. And so as long as Tua can throw it, I believe he can catch it. If they saying it's his back and he gonna take a shot, fine. This is just one of those catch-all situations like last week. I picked the Chargers because I felt like Hubert was still okay, but obviously he don't have all the mojo he needs. And you forget about simple things, right? Like flying. Like you remember years back when we found out that Watson rode the bus all the way to Jacksonville to play just to keep himself capable of breathing properly and keep the pressure off his lungs. So we really don't know what that back feels like. Just like I don't think Hubert knew week to week what it felt like if, his ribs were hurting. So we got a lot of quarterbacks trying to play tough and play through it. But at the same time, I believe there's enough still together on Miami. This is how I feel about it. Miami was doing well in a game against who we said everybody should be scared of or is tough. Even though it's a division opponent, they were hanging in there with them at that. I don't believe, but I'm saying even before that.
Yeah.
Even before that. And so I don't believe that Cincy, I just don't believe Cincy is going to get it together against this team. That's just me. I can reserve the right to change in fantasy, but I'm sticking with right now. I'm really strong on Miami. It seems that I kind of think these things out really well, and I need to start thinking with all of my logical thoughts and rolling with them. So moving on.
You need not change. I think I may change.
Right. So anyway, we're going to move on to Denver versus Las Vegas. And I know you probably like, okay, why did I even put this game on the list, guys? And I'll tell you why. One, Vegas needs a win. Period. Right? Not any more than the team in Houston needs one, but they need a win. And
they don't need a win.
Well, whatever. But also, Denver needs a win, right? I mean, they gotta win, but they need a string of wins at this point.
A real
win, right?
They need a good win.
First of all, all of them are real. If you won, you won.
Okay. Good game.
So I think the better word, like Derek said, is they need a good win. They need
a good game.
They need a good game, and not one where the star is the punter and kickers, right? So, we didn't see a bunch of delay of games. So I think, maybe the hired hand is helping. So we're going to go with that. And so for that matter, I'm going to give it to Denver on the road in Vegas because I don't think Vegas is home field advantage is much of anything to go by. I went to watch them play the Commanders at home, and the Commanders beat them. And their crowd, they were in that game up until the last drive, and they still didn't have what it takes. It's going to always be a showmanship game, right? It's not going to be a home field advantage for them. Not these regular season games anyway. They probably selling all their regular season tickets in hopes of a playoff. So, D Jones.
I think Vegas is better than 0-4. So I'm think they're gonna pull it out this week. Until Denver show me they can put a complete game together. I gotta lean that way.
Okay.
The Raiders haven't played that bad. It just ain't went their way. So I'm gonna give them the home field nod. It no rhyme or reason, no trickery. Just I'll just give them home field nod, and until Denver coach shows me that he can really control the game and manage the game better. It's just I got to see it. What you say, Coach?
Vegas is already having closed door meetings with their coaches and owner. Denver's having a coach that's never called plays before. He was the OC, and he's looking like a coach that's never called plays before. I think at some point Russell Wilson is going to be like, look, chill a little bit. Let me call a couple of the plays here and there to help you out on your game management. And I think this is the game. I think Denver's going to win this game in a very close one. It's going to, piss some people off in Vegas because, Vegas is supposed to be the one trying to compete in that division. I'm just going to pick Denver in an upset.
So just on that last statement, you mean Vegas was supposed to move into being more competitive in the division because
Correct.
The Chargers been right there and been competitive. So it would only be them. This was supposed to be the strongest division
right
this year. That's what we were expecting.
Right.
And they've been competitive. Remember, they made the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah,
so I was going to say, I don't know if I would say that. I just think that everybody expected the trade to do more for them.
But like you said in the text message, you were still saying Denver still got basically the same team, just added a quarterback. And Russell's not being that quarterback that they expected him to be. However, I think the coaching has a big part in that part into, the dude's staring at the playbook or the play sheet for 30 seconds before he get the play in. They only got 10 seconds to get to the line to see, what they have and read the defense. But I just think Russell is going to try to take more of a leadership role as far as going to pick up the playbook from the coach. And then
I don't know if that's Russell. I don't know
that's
if that's
what I was
Russell.
going to say. And I was going to...
Yeah, right. That's another thing. Right. That's the other piece to that, too. You're right.
Yeah, I mean...
You ask him to do something he don't do.
Right.
He ain't never done that.
That's another piece to that.
You can go back to Wisconsin. You go back to NC State.
Yeah.
You go back to the...
That's not what
he do.
Go
back to the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's not what he do, bro. He ain't doing that. But
no, I just, and with that said, I'm just gonna go and pick Denver because I think Vegas is. I just think Denver's gonna pull out. They need a good, solid win, and I think this is gonna be one of them.
Okay, I don't want to stay on the game long. I just want to backtrack on this statement about, one, we had, our viewer Michael say that, Russ should have stayed in Seattle. And I think people fail to understand that sometimes when you see things going nowhere but in a circle, it's time to let them go. At that point, both sides of that partnership have given all they were going to give to each other, period. Whatever way you want to look at it. They decided that they weren't about to invest or look or grab or whatever way you want to describe it, a new line in Seattle. And at the same time, Rustin already handed them a championship. He done been loyal to the city and did what he had to do. So the thing about it is when people say comments like he should have stayed elsewhere, it's like you forget that it's still 10 other people on the field with him. And as a collective effort, they're still, offense, defense, and special teams that have to put in on you getting a win. Your quarterback can look good or great, but I think when you say, the word that threw me off a little bit is when you said he not being the quarterback they want him to be, the Magic. That's the problem. He gave Magic for so long that people normalized it. I mean, we've said several years on this show, we were like, I'm not betting against Russ because Russ always found some magic. Well, we, like, for instance, Monday night, we knew for sure, when, if you watch the change in the game, when they put Peters in to run on the offensive line, the run game changed tremendously for Dallas, right? It was significantly different in the run plays and the yardage gain. It's the same with Russell, right? Like, what you get with him and you get used to it. So you don't think to do anything different. The eye candy of Russell just being implanted into Denver, with what other change on that side of the ball?
On the flip side, in Seattle, they lost all of their defensive firepower, which was basically a huge percentage of their team. So
I'm just saying overall, I mean, there's a nice run game in Denver if you can get the support of it to be consistent enough to get a win. I'm just saying, I just don't like the theory of it's his job to show up and make the whole team come together. That, I mean, he's supposed to be a professional and he's supposed to be elite and play well. I agree with all those things. I think coaching is affecting a lot of things, and control. And they can be one and the same. We don't know for sure, but there's definitely some heavy coaching defects that are affecting the play in Denver. And that's on everything I got. And I ain't never had to even play football to know something ain't right.
Yeah, if you ever managed a team, you can tell it's a management issue. It's a game management issue.
Right. Correct. So, we're going to manage our time properly, and we're going to move on to some of my little favorite teams out in the West. The Rams versus San Francisco. Now, we all know how I feel about Jimmy G. In fairness, though, I think Jimmy G's problem last week is that because he wasn't really expected to play, he really didn't have it ready to just go. Now, I'm not excusing the safety. I'm just saying overall the other part of the play. But he didn't do anything that I didn't expect him to do. He's very capable of losing a game. So he didn't surprise me by losing the game. It's nothing different. I just think this matchup is always a good matchup, regardless of where it's played. It's a very good division rival for me. But I think the Rams go on the road. They starting to feel good now. They're getting in a little bit more of their rhythm. And I think they get the win, even though it's in Levi. Coach?
I know I sent y'all the 49ers winning.
You did?
I did. I'm changing my pick. I'm going with the Rams on that one. Just simply what you just said about the momentum change. The San Francisco, I was shocked because I thought they was going to go on a run after that first drive last week, and then everything went downhill from there offensively. I just think the Rams are saying, hey, we're Super Bowl champs. Let's get a win. Let's go. That's it. Just that simple. Not because this, that, and the other. It's just that the Rams are the Super Bowl champs. Let's show everybody why we're the Super Bowl champs. Period. D. Jones?
Well, I'll take that another route. I'm picking the Rams as well, but they won the ring, they won the Super Bowl. But what they should not forget is they got manhandled by San Francisco 2 times at the end of last season. So they should be coming to get revenge and payback. So I'm gonna call this game the payback game, and the Rams is winning this. They're a better team.
That's funny. But y'all know I went to that NFC Championship game. And so in my mind, when I went, I said this game is going to be off the chain, and I believe the Rams going to get them. So you right. They will be thinking about that, but eventually they're going to have to get over that they beating them in the regular season, because, again, the Rams should have a little chip on their shoulder like, we got you when we needed to get you, though. You can have all them regular season accolades.
But they don't forget.
They don't forget. That's why I think it's going to be a good game, even with Jimmy G being on the field. So, but shout out to, all the faithful of the 49ers who are still going to ride with whoever's under center, which you should. You should. But I think more so now you're in agreement that, Jimmy's been carried to his level. He didn't put you guys there. All right. Make sure you quote me on that. All right, Jacksonville versus Philly. Shout out to the homeboy Hurts. I ain't even gonna waste no time. I'm going with Philly. Shout out to my boy D Walt, which is his uncle. And that's all I gotta say. Philly. D Jones.
Philly. We ain't gotta talk long on this. Philly is looking great. Hurts is looking definitely an MVP candidate so far early on. The receivers between Brown and then Smith. Come on, man. Philly got this game.
Big Sexy.
Philly's gonna win. Philly's gonna win the Doug Peterson Bowl. He's coming back. So Philly's gonna win. Hurts.
Oh, okay. We got a viewer saying they gonna run with Trevor Lawrence, topples Philly. Okay. I like it. Look, if it's a good game, I don't really care. So I'm here for it.
Mike say Philly lose too.
All right. They say Philly coming down. Okay. We get a little.
Have y'all been watching? Have you been watching the Philly games?
I just want to know. Have you been watching the Philly? And don't give me they played Washington last week. That has nothing. First of all, let's be clear.
How they play.
First of all, let's be clear though. When you play a mediocre team or a struggling defensive team, you're supposed to score. That's what everybody says when we show up. Houston can't stop the run. So what does a smart coach do on the other side? Run. So when y'all say
good game, feel good medicine game.
It doesn't even matter about feel good. It's just the theory of when people say like, "Oh, you played them. You were supposed to blow them out," and they did.
Right.
All right. Next game. We moving on, and we're gonna talk about Kansas City versus Tampa Bay. Both of these teams, D Jones said he didn't expect Tampa to win last week, and I understood why. And even with all of that, I still didn't change my pick. But for the most part, it's clear if he don't have nobody to throw the ball to, it don't really matter, right? He ain't winning because the game is called football. And the Chiefs need a bounce back from the Colts. And even with them on the road, I still think with Evans back and them needing to win, I'm iffy on this one. This is one I probably go back and forth with. Right now, I have the Kansas City, but I don't know yet. So since D Jones will never call you Big Sexy a day in your life, Big Sexy coach, what's your pick? I'm gonna ride out
this whatever. No. With everything, first of all, prayers for everybody involved in the Hurricane hurricane that's going on right now in the Tampa, St. Petersburg area. With that being said, I'm gonna go with Kansas City Chiefs with the road win in Tampa of what's going on. I know Tampa Bay is practicing in Miami and getting ready for the game, but I just think Kansas City is going to pull this one out, and then it's going to piss Tampa off enough to propel them for the rest of the season. So I'm going with Kansas City. D. Jones?
Yeah, I'm riding with Kansas City on this one, just a bounce back game, like you guys said. I think their offense is just going to be too strong. They're going to correct the mistakes they made last week, and I think they'll pull us through.
All right, moving on to Washington versus Dallas. Obviously, I'm going to pick Dallas on this one. They at home. It's against Washington. Washington got a lot going on. At the same time, I didn't pick Dallas last week, and I still don't think it was a bad pick to pick the way I did because statistically Dallas had to do something they had never done in order to win. And so that, that level of defense works against the Giants, and it'll probably work again this week against Washington. It just is what it is. As it stands, I just think they have more to put out there. Also, even though he's on a different team, they know Wentz. That's a good study for a team. And I know it's been a while. That's not my point. What I'm saying is there's film on him. You're not that much different because you changed teams, right? The study of you didn't become different. He changed who he was with his ball handling from college to pro, but that was because they specifically worked on that. When he showed up in Washington, he didn't become a new QB. So there's enough film to have a good matchup with him on that. That's all I got to say. I mean, it's Dallas and they should win. Coach, I'll let you off the hook, Coach.
I'm going with Dallas in this one. Like you said, I think they showed a difference with their defense. Give the ball to Zeke a little bit more often. They're winning. They have a different plan. I just don't trust Washington on offense. Their defense is stout. I just don't trust them on offense. What'd you say, D. Jones?
I agree. I agree with what both you guys are saying. I picked the Cowboys to win this game. I didn't pick them last week just because I wasn't going with Rush on the road in a division game. But, I mean, they played well. I mean, I can't say that. They got the running game going with Pollard. So I got to give it to Dallas on this one. I'm just wondering, is the OC? I forget his name. Is he calling
Kellen
different
Moore.
Plays? Moore, yeah, Kellen Moore. Is he calling the plays different for this quarterback than he did for Dak, or what?
So he called the play. He definitely called the plays different. And they weren't getting any pressure to Rush, so he had a lot of time.
Yeah,
to get what he wanted off. And they had enough run plays. They definitely worked both running backs. And if you caught it, I forgot the lineman's name. And obviously, for the moment, it was meant to be forgiven. But he was in first, and they were like averaging 3 to 4 yards on a rush. But when Peters came in, they couldn't set the edge, and Pollard was getting first downs every rush.
Right.
Yeah. And then of course Elliott, was doing his thing, but it was such a significant difference. The play call was different when they were put Peters
more
in.
balanced.
But the line,
right. And what most people might not know, what they should, but I mean they might not. Peters is working himself back up. Like they got Peters for replacement, but he not even fully there yet. But yes, Gonzalez, you're right. Our viewers saying that the O-line was clicking in the second half, and that is a spot on thing. Like the adjustments of figuring out what set of the line worked from the first half, it totally made it look like a different game, because it was just they were all moving the ball. I don't know if most people noticed. It took a while before anybody punted. They may have been kicking field goals, but both teams were moving the ball. They just weren't having success in the end zone.
I have a side note. Have you seen Dallas's schedule? That thing is so easy. That schedule is brutally easy.
But you play who you play. You play who you play.
I get that. I get that. But I'm just saying, I'm not trying to knock them or whatever. But like you said, the second half it was clicking. Maybe they found something to start clicking. I know we hate on Dallas, but we've been fair to them when they're good and when they're bad. And I think they're gonna find something. I think they found something new with the run game.
Let's be very clear. There's no we in the hate. I don't hate on Dallas. I always stick to what I think about them. There are certain fans of the team I will hate on till I die. But other than that, I don't hate on them. There's no film for that. There's no film, comments, or desire. I don't even have a desire.
You got to be relevant to hate.
Exactly.
That's got a point. True.
That's it. Oh, okay, Michael. You saying that Washington gonna show up and be a whole new team, and it's a division game.
It's division.
And honestly,
you know what we say.
you just never know with a division game. But I tell you one thing: when they flew home from New York on Monday night, they was feeling really good on all sides of the ball. Okay, because they even had some good returns. Okay, so that's gonna be hard to fight on Sunday back home.
They got a good returner. It's just as long as
but I'm just
they
saying,
keep that offense balanced, it's gonna be a problem.
But that's my point. That was an all-sides game win. Mm-hmm. It's not like we were like, oh, it was all in the rushing. It was all in the defense. It was everybody. You know, defense set some records, but shoot, like I said, that run game got it going. Did what needed to happen.
That's all three or just one?
Wait a minute, who called you
all three?
All three. All three. Let me in there. Let me get it.
I'm gonna need a clarification on that, Conley. I'm gonna need a clarification. I think he only talking to me. But
I'm sure he is. But you know,
and if you say you gonna detail my car, he said just her. If you gonna detail my car, I want my car detailed by hand.
Dang, you can't.
Man.
Well,
by hand and a toothbrush on the inside.
Oh, jeez.
And all the little details.
Jeez.
I want extra Armor All on my tires. And he said deal off. Oh, okay. So you ain't about it. You ain't about it.
Too far. You see now you go wrong. Now you ain't gonna get nothing because you took it too far.
Only someone 5'11" would say that. So
time out.
Moving on to the next.
I'm off the show. I'm out. I'm out.
No. Let me be clear. Not your response. Not your response. His response, because he took the deal off. Because but you acting 5'11". He say he's 6 feet, but he acting 5'11".
See that?
And newsflash,
I'm doing the rest of the show in protest.
No male is really 6 feet. It's usually 5'11" say they 6 feet. Because if you 6 feet, you gonna say you 6'1". 5'11" is usually the people that say they 6 feet.
Can we go to the next game, please?
Okay, well, look, I'm just saying.
You're thinking like me.
You agree? You agree?
No. I know. I agree with what D. Jones said. Let's go to the next game.
Okay, Big Sexy. We gonna move on for you, Big Sexy.
Oh, Lord.
All right, Big Sexy. Next, if you just now joining us, be very clear that I am not harassing Coach air. Coach chose the name Big Sexy Coach. I am calling him by the name he uses in the pick'em, and this is all about the pick'em. So,
all right, it might change.
So Oville picking Washington too. He say Dallas not gonna put it together like that no more. So
Lord, he said I'll burn all my Texans give the Cowboys put together all three phases like that again. That was a rare game. First of all, why y'all be burning stuff y'all paid for?
That's true.
Let me tell you what I'm not doing. I ain't burning a thing. I still got my Aaron Foster jersey, my Jacoby Jones jersey. I'm not burning a thing. Okay. I have my what's the number one pick? What's my number one pick? Mario Williams. I still got my Mario Williams jersey. It is no way I'm burning something I paid for. Okay, if it get too little, which it won't, but if it did, it would still be a do-rag before I throw it away.
Yeah, do-rag.
I would. I'd cut it up the side and turn it into a do-rag. Why not? Y'all forgot I'm a Trill OG. What you talking about? I'm from Ridgemont 4. Did y'all forget?
Out the streets of the Ridgemont 4.
I think he don't know that. I think Big Sexy too busy out here trying to. You know what it is? I get it now. You got confused. You signed
I ain't
up.
confused.
No, guys, I got it now. All our viewers, I got it.
Nope. Don't even.
Coach,
no.
Coach
Can we go to the next game?
Was signing up for Yahoo Fantasy, but he thought he was signing up for his OnlyFans page.
Nah.
So he accidentally mixed the names up.
I don't even know what OnlyFans is.
Oh,
now you gonna lie. Now
Don't
you just
lie.
gonna lie.
You just gonna lie. You just gonna lie.
Now you just gonna lie. Okay.
Next game,
See,
please.
that's
Next.
why you
All right.
guilty.
Next
Cause you,
game.
All right.
Next
you
game.
lying.
Next
We
game.
just gonna lie. Okay.
He said, "Send it to me. I'll burn it for you, or your short future husband might wear it."
Go to this. See there, Oville.
Oh,
You trying to get away from the hate situation.
we are gonna get away from it because I'm not gonna entertain that part. I'm just gonna remind Oville that ticket for Vegas is still untransferred. Okay, moving on to the Chargers versus Houston.
That's cold blooded. That's cold.
Wow.
And Coach Pat already told us he ain't attending the game on Sunday. And to be honest, I'm sure my boy D Jones probably wouldn't be attending if we had already bought the tickets. He might
I
have
want to
found
see her.
Oh, well, that's true.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Well,
I might make 3.
So first
I might
of all, I get too excited and then my voice elevates. So I'm sorry, guys, and sorry to everybody. Listen, just turn your volume down. Just know when the big H is on, that you just got to turn your volume down. Because when I hear myself, I try to bring myself back down. So I'm sorry. But Hubert is a beauty to see in person, and I really wish they would have won because they were at home. But when I saw them play last year on Thursday night football, it was such a beautiful game. And I know I talked about it last year, and it's not this year, but he has such a pretty throw. Like it's just, it's football, but it's lovely. And so I hate to be on the other end of it this Sunday. But I will be there like I always am, with my crown on, and I only remove my crown tonight to salute my Stros because it's getting ready for October, and I know better. I don't care if he had one good rib. He'll beat the Texans this weekend, and this is the most that I have went against my team, and it's only week 4. I'm usually such an extreme homer. It's very sad for me. It's very tough for me.
I told you how you got to think of that thing.
No. It's just so weird to be in this place. I'm okay with it, and I know not to pick them, but it is very weird to be in this place. It was different in years. And for those of you watching, you may have your feelings about the team and all of that's cool. I'm not really getting into that, but more so, there were reasons always that in your mind, you could tell yourself why things the way they were, right? Like the year we went through 8 quarterbacks, you really couldn't be mad, right? Because you knew that's what it had to be.
They got hurt.
And after a year of going 2-14, and you bring in a new coach, and he brings in a quarterback to just hang you through there till you figure it out, you knew what it would be. But it's extremely frustrating to watch, millionaires try to convince us that we're stupid and that we can't see that somebody can't figure out what to do under center half the time, regardless of the play, and that we are now second guessing everybody else in order to justify one person. And I'm extremely over that. It is very exhausting to see, and I think that for me is crazy. Oh no, these Texans not unpredictable. That's a lie. Let me lose myself. Let me catch myself. Because I already lost myself, and I'm gonna move on to Big Sexy. Go ahead, Big Sexy.
I picked them. Whatever. I picked them last week. I'm not picking them this week. No way. I'm going with the Chargers on this one. This is. I mean, you had dudes running wide open. And you 6'4", you getting the ball tipped at the line. Still, I mean, I understand there's growing pains with the second-year quarterback, but I mean, he looked lost, and then All it takes, like D. Jones said one time, all it takes is one sack and his whole game gets thrown off. He got sacked, and next thing you know, he won't set his feet. I mean, I'm just saying from that aspect. And then we can't, I mean, we had what, five? What did I say? 5 3rd-and-1s, and we didn't convert on a single one of them. And then one of them got converted on the fake point, and you got a field goal out of a fake point. So I mean, you're trying to throw it out, and every ball was high. Still, that was week 1 stuff, and now we going into week 4. The Chargers are going to be looking for blood to get a win and get their lick back from last year when they won, and the Chargers sat out, some of the key players. They're gonna miss. They're not gonna have Bosa this week because Bosa's out on the IR, but there's still gonna be plenty of pressure. But one thing on but on the flip side, it's not just the Mills part. It's also, you said, like, he mentioned it earlier when you said about stopping the run. What the linebackers are going. I mean, where are the linebackers at? We got our leading tacklers are the safeties, and that's not a good thing. D. Jones.
I mean, I ain't gonna pile on. Chargers gonna win just because they're gonna have 200+ yards running. I mean, we can be concerned about Herbert and his ribs, but as coach would call it, this is feel good medicine. If they get to him, they won't get to him too often. He's gonna get hit. That's just the nature of the game. But they're gonna run the ball to protect his ribs, and he'll do what he needs to do off of the run game. Coach bring up a good point. The Texans surprised them last year and beat them pretty handedly. And that game was here in Houston as well. This game is here in Houston. Mills does play a little bit better in Houston than he does on the road. He's atrocious on the road. He's okay in Houston, but he's the future backup. So every game they play, they should maybe possibly be competitive, but they should not be looking to win because we need a quarterback in the draft, and you don't want to give up draft. Yes, I'm looking towards next year because this year doesn't matter. They need to be able to draft a high quarterback without giving anything up, trying to move up. So can they win? Yeah, everybody that show up on Sunday can win. I don't expect them to, so I picked the Chargers.
So what's the bet between the three of us that they score in the fourth quarter?
That they will score in the fourth quarter? A touchdown or just any kind of points in the fourth quarter?
Touchdown.
I forgot. I forgot they getting outscored 30-0 in the fourth. I wouldn't take that bet.
I wouldn't. Nah, you can get. I give you. What's the trading places bet? $1.
Well, what's the bet that Brandon gets an inbox that says, "Hey, Big Sexy,"
and it's getting deleted ASAP.
It don't matter what you do
right
with
now.
it.
It don't. No.
Delete.
It didn't say whether you respond or keep it.
Oh, that won't happen. Trust me, it won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it won't happen. I guarantee. What's that?
Put something on it. You put something on it.
Put something on it. Oh, that's a long pause.
Yeah, it is.
Y'all too. I'll buy y'all a drink. How about that?
Oh, you're gonna do that anyway.
Yeah, what's that? A drink?
Nah, I need something.
I'll think of something. We'll think of something.
Yeah, keep thinking.
Moving on.
While you thinking, we get to our last game, guys. It's the game of the week that we selected as the game of the week. And our game of the week is Buffalo versus Baltimore. Two awesome players under center. One guy is still having another MVP-like season. In the words of my boy Shannon Sharp, that truck gonna be so big they gotta back up. I don't know what they're gonna do. And before we get into the pick, I'm gonna just be real about something that people don't understand about the business side and when the business side comes to knock on your door and haunt you. A lot of people didn't realize, or they don't realize, that when you guarantee money, there's a certain amount of money you have to have in escrow because you have to guarantee it from somewhere. It can't all be from future sales or intentions, right? And so a lot of the issues sometimes with a team wanting to pay a certain amount, and it's more of a moving toward a all guaranteed money, you have to be able to project and have the money. You can't just project. And I just wonder if that's some of what is affecting the team, because there's a difference between being profitable, making money, and having a steady black versus now you got to pull from your money and put a certain amount aside strictly for the purpose of the players. So we don't really know, that dynamics. It's obviously been a long time since I studied these things in law school. And, just to give you guys another business inside understanding to it, I think most people know now the goal of the team is the sweet money, because that's the money they keep to themselves. They don't share the split money because there's a revenue split for the team that comes in as your visiting team. Obviously, it's not an equal split, but there's a revenue split. But you don't share suites. So that used to be the push for everybody wanting a new stadium, because you want to generate more revenue. And that's why I said more stadiums became corporate stadiums as they started to build more. So they would build these stadiums, and now you see you got 2 rows of suites in some stadiums, and then you have the field suites. It wasn't quote unquote to give more of a fan experience, because those things are outpriced for working fans. They're corporate things, and so it created more things for write-offs, more guaranteed money. Baltimore is not exactly in this luxurious stadium that offers the revenue of that. And if you've ever been to their stadium, it's right next to the baseball stadium, and it's downtown. So it's not in an area where they can say, oh, let's just build again across the street and then open up. And then you can't go too far because you're already in the DMV. You still already have Washington, and then they're considering another move. So at the end of the day, I think it's more the economics of the team that's somewhat affecting it, and not solely just, oh, they don't want to pay the man. And I say that because everybody keeps saying that, but that's still the team that drafted him, right? It's not the team that's leaving him on the bench. It's not the team that's not running plays that cater to his skill set. They are catering to who they drafted. So I can't.
They offered him. They offered him a really good deal.
From what we know.
I think, yeah. Well, from what was reported, we'll go by what was reported, right?
Yeah.
And if what we heard was correct, they offered him a really good deal. If he wants it all guaranteed, he can want that. I'm not tripping on that. But if we all being real, if we was in those shoes with the way he plays ball, that's hard to give a fully guaranteed contract to a player so dynamic. And then you add on top of that, Deshaun's fully guaranteed contract is one of one. No, it has not happened. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I know the NFL players want to go to that. Take a shorter deal that's fully guaranteed. Don't get that long-term deal with that big number that you're never going to reach. But the way he plays, I just, it's like, whoa. But that's great insight that you give on the escrow part. But yeah, I think we as fans be like, pay the man. They don't act like they didn't offer that dude a pretty hefty
they act like they offered him 180.
Yeah, they offered him some bread. It's just he wants it. If he wants it, or if the reports are correct and he wants it fully guaranteed, that's tough, man. That's tough. I'm glad so far it's working out for him because he's balling. And he's throwing the ball, real great right now too. So hopefully it continues for him. And he
benefits on the back end for the contracts in place right now with Russ and Deshaun, because his worst case scenario is that he's franchised, and so then you have to pay him at that position. So it's a very good 1-year deal coming right behind it anyway.
Yeah, the Kirk Cousins way.
So it's a very good deal. I mean, he's sitting in a sweet spot, but I just want to give a full perspective, and it's not to necessarily let Baltimore off the hook or say that they're not doing their due diligence. And I just like his professionalism about it. He was like, look, the season started. There's no sense that this needs to be a weekly discussion. We're here to play football, and that's what I'm going to play. And when it's time to get back to business, I'm going to get back to it. And for everybody that has something to say about his agency status and everything else, that's irrelevant. Tunzel, Hopkins, they all negotiated their own deals. And so now you don't get to put him on an island of bad faith of dealing because he didn't get an agent. That's his choice. If that's not what he wanted to do, that's not what he wanted to do. I mean,
and again, he negotiated he had a good deal on the table. He just betting on himself to be guaranteed.
And I don't see anything wrong with it. So
nothing
and
wrong
so
with
not to
You're
kill, because I want to wrap us up here. Even with all of that, I think he's going to play great this weekend. But I think Buffalo got in, a little deep last week. And it's so funny because, guys, remember I mentioned this and I still picked Buffalo. I said that heat makes you play totally different in Miami as the visiting team because you are in the heat the entire game. And I want people to start thinking about that Miami has a better chance of winning games longer in the season at home because it stays hot like that longer in the season. I went in October and I told you guys, remember, I got a tan sitting in my seat, because it was so hot and we had to get up. And so I think sometimes people say things they think are funny, but I don't care what level of athlete you were, that's hot. And I think D Jones, you remember what we went through in LA at the soccer stadium. And it was LA. It was torturous. We literally just talked to the people behind us and moved a few rows back until the sun shifted. Oville, if you still watching, I know you remember it was hot. It was a good game, but that heat was coming. So in that, I still think Buffalo might get them. I might change my mind. I don't think you're wrong with how you pick for this game. It's one of those games like you could have good reasons on both sides. I just right now, unless I'm gonna look again at the defensive outs, I'm still gonna pick Buffalo for right now. Coach.
That game against Miami was so good. Miami and that was funny. Miami, the game Miami and Buffalo was very good. It was well played. Had different tosses and turns, and then you made Buffalo's coaching staff OC get upset towards the end, and that was made for TV stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and pick Baltimore in this one. I think Baltimore's at home. That's the little tiny edge. I mean, like you said, it's either or in this game. Since we got to make a pick, I'm going to go ahead and go with Baltimore. And it's going to be a field goal game. Justin Tucker with the win. Go ahead with the 51, 52-yarder right down the middle. Baltimore. D. Jones.
Oh, the GOAT. You gonna rest it on the GOAT. I love me some Tuck.
All right.
Man, I'm going Buffalo on this. I'm with Gransberry on this. I've been bullish on Buffalo all year. I thought they would pull it off last week. Even though their offense slowed down last week, Josh still threw 400 yards. You know what I mean? I think they bounced back this week. And like you said, the heat, I think, it actually impacted both teams, but I'm sure, it probably was more on the Buffalo side. But I think Buffalo bounced back this week. I think it's going to be a good week for them. My only concern with Baltimore is they've played well offensively, but they've let teams stay around or come back into the game. So I think we're going to go with the Bills to take this one. It's going to be a good game of the week. Too bad they put this one at noon. I'm not sure why they put this one at noon in Green Bay and New England at 3:25. But but maybe it's an AFC game of the week type situation. But I hate that's 2 weeks in a row. Our game of the week is the noon game, but it didn't disappoint last week. Hopefully it won't disappoint this week.
So I already gave my pick, but I want to clarify and shout out Oville because he said he lost 7.6 pounds when he went to the Chargers game with us. We actually went to see them play the year before SoFi opened, and they played in the soccer stadium. It was D. Jones, his cousin Oville, and myself. And we thought we had perfect seats. We were like right by the team coming out. We could see everything. We saw some Snoop Dogg. We was in a good spot, but it was hot.
It was hot.
And that last part about what you said, you're right. The heat overall affects everyone at those games. Mm-hmm. The difference is the defense at the soccer stadium and in Miami. They get sun the sun doesn't move. It's
The
just
visiting
on
team
them.
is sitting on it. Yeah.
They're sitting in the heat and there's no shift. That is what SoFi said we not doing. And they put those shields in. So they let sunlight in by moving the shields to the opposite side, and they can do shade to keep it cool. But I know y'all not into the engineering and all that. That's your girl. So that's my thing. And I'm gonna enjoy it and love it. But I'm gonna give y'all one more thing that most people might not pay attention to. The only thing is I cannot remember the number, and because we don't pay people to sit in the back and tell us things in our ear, this show is funded by you going to Anchor on the podcast and subscribing to offer monthly donations to support this, or contacting me to let me know you want your business to sponsor. And until then, I don't know the number, and you're going to have to get on your local internet and find out. But there's a restriction for how many games you can play outside of your time zone. So even when you play teams in opposite time zones and start times, you can't play more than a certain number of games out of that. So part of the reason why they don't shift games as much all season is because you can't maximize that threshold early, and then you can't switch a team. And then on top of that, Baltimore and the Bills are on a normal noon schedule, central schedule anyway, and it is because they're playing Green Bay that game is at a different time, and you can't switch it because you would put Green Bay at too many games at the other time zone. What? Y'all just saying y'all weren't trying to get the science of that today. I'm sorry.
Not at all.
I just thought I would let y'all in on that. But that's fine then. You know, I know y'all don't want my smarts.
You know you the educator. Okay.
We can get back to. I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody that hung in with us tonight. My boy Gonzalez, I'm wishing your teams well. And Michael, I expect my car to get detailed. I already got the spot because we know your hands can't get it done. So I got the spot you can go get it done at. And I want to thank Oville for joining us and catching us. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to my strolls in the postseason. So I'm gonna let my boy D Jones tell y'all where y'all can find him when y'all don't want to hear all of my insight.
We always want your insight. Chill out on that. You can get your boy on Instagram at djones9804 or on Twitter, that boy D Jones.
And Big Sexy. We want to make sure if you have a new OnlyFans, you are free to broadcast it on here. We want your subscriptions up because we want you to give all those plays. It's Big Sexy Coach. You need to change your Twitter to Big Sexy Coach. Look, Big Sexy Coach say he in to win it. He might not win anything at Pick'em. He want to win the DMs.
I literally just did that just to get just to make people laugh and stuff like that. I'm nowhere. No.
Something like that?
Coach,
no, sir.
Coach, yeah, something like that.
There are two things that men don't do.
Wait. Hold on.
I'm gonna be right.
Twitter,
I bet y'all gonna agree. I bet you agree. You want to hear?
Twitter, Instagram, Coach B Pat. That's it. That was just a little joke on the jokey joke on the
you gotta ride with it all season, bro.
You riding with it all season. I'm gonna tell you right now, the two things that men don't do, and I know all the men gonna agree. Men do not give themselves women names. Okay. No, Nick is never gonna say I'm Nicole or Nikki ever. Okay. Any man that does that has some ulterior motive about himself. Okay. And two, no man will give himself a sexual reference name by accident.
It was by accident. So I mean, I'm just saying.
Because you had to think that And then
no, I didn't think that. No, I was.
You chose it.
I was.
You chose it, bro.
I was cracking a joke. That's all it was.
Well,
I know.
It's gonna be a joke all year.
No.
Look,
I'm about to change that right now.
Two things I know men do not do. I ain't never met a man that'll nickname himself a lady's name, and I ain't never met a man who gave himself a sexual preference of a name or nickname, and he didn't think about it. And then he typed it out loud. You can change your name all you want. We got the screenshots.
Oh, it's done, bro.
It's done. It's done. Now, so I'm gonna keep it moving. It's your girl, the Gransberry, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and YouTube. Like I said, I need you to make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. You also on Anchor Podcast, so you can subscribe, and you can even donate $1 a month. It's that simple. And don't worry, it can even replace a rhinestone in my crown, because my crown got to stay right all the time. I won't be having OnlyFans, and I don't have OnlyFans. That's
I won't have one either
for Coach.
Nope.
But we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. We had a great time, and I'm exhausted because Coach B Pat, he just be working us with his little. What is you doing over there?
I'm trying to change
the entanglement. Wrap this up. We over an hour.
Oh, my bad. So as always, we appreciate y'all, and catch us next time. Peace.
Peace out.